Hello folks, this is Sullla once again. Welcome back to our playthrough of Master of Orion. Here we go again. We're not going to go through the whole loading screen this time. This will be part 2. We're going to pick up where we left off last time. I appreciated all the feedback from the first video. A lot of people seem to enjoy it. I know that the Master of Orion is very low tech by today's standards, but I think it still holds up really well. It's still a really fun game. So we played out the opening moves in the last video, got our home world started, and right at the end of the video I had contact with two new races, the Darloks and the Klakons. Klakons here in purple, the Darloks in yellow here. I'll make a couple quick comments first. Let's check out the map. The AI races always use the same names for their homeworlds. So Koldon is always the Klakon homeworld. It's right here. It's actually very close. It's only 5 parsecs away from Neptunus. And let's see, I wonder how far it is from this planet. The question for the Klakons, this looks like it's about range 4. The Klakons probably only have range 4 tech, because I think I would have seen some of their ships down here if I didn't. So they probably don't have range to reach this planet just yet. Meanwhile, over here are the Darloks. Again, Nazin is always the Darlok homeworld in this game, so this is their homeworld. Remember, homeworlds also have to start at yellow stars. So they started here, the Klakons started here. We probably don't have anyone else in the immediate area. There might be an AI up here. Actually, there's a good possibility that there's an AI up here. Although that would be kind of bad because it would mean the western half of this map is wide open to other AIs, and we could have a monster runaway AI. Anyway, so Nazin is 7 parsecs away. Kronos is 6 parsecs away. That will drop. They are not as far away from this planet. In fact, Kronos is only 5 parsecs away from this area. And we already have contact with the Darloks, which means they already have at least range 6 stack, because I'm in contact with them, and I would not have contact with them if they didn't already have range 6. That means that the Darloks can potentially reach... we know that they've already chased away a colony ship here, so we know that they already have range to reach this. That means that Neptunus, Escalon, and Rylus are all planets they can reach. So I need to make my stand at Neptunus and at Escalon and make sure that they don't get to these planets first. At the end of the video, I did send a colony ship off here. So for those who are curious, the way that you do orders is ships that are in orbit are always to the right of a planet. Then you click where you want them to go and hit accept. After you assign them orders, the ships move to the left side of the planet. So we have orders to go over here. It'll take 6 turns to get up there. And unfortunately, there's nothing I can do to speed that up. All right, let's go and check out these races. This is the first time we'll get to use the races tab. So here they are. They show up. No treaty, no trade. That the treaty, you can sign treaties if relations improve. It'll also tell you if you're at war up there. Trade is something that we're going to do in a second. I'll explain that. And then the relations with each race. One of the big benefits of the humans in this game is that they enjoy good diplomacy with all races. So the starting value with the Klakons is relaxed instead of neutral. Now, the one downside is the Darloks have poor relations with all races. So that cancels out the human benefit. So we start at neutral. And normally when you're playing this game, you start at neutral. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and improve relations with these guys. We want to use our advantage. Oh, I'll show other things while I'm on here. Status. This is where you can see how you match up with the other races. This is the only place to see the year in the game. I think I mentioned that in the first video. They're way ahead. That the game always looks like this on Impossible. Get used to it. They always start ahead. They're ahead in tech, they're ahead in production, they're ahead in total power, they're ahead in fleet strength. The game is always like this on Impossible. You'll get used to it. Report will tell you what you know about them. We can see their personality. The Darloks are xenophobic technologists. Xenophobic means that it's more difficult to improve relations with them. Relations build more slowly than they would otherwise. Now, they already have contact with the Silicoids. So the Silicoids, go back to that previous map. The Silicoids probably started up here. Otherwise, it's unlikely the Darloks would be in contact with them. So the Silicoids are probably started up here. Anyway, let's go back to that. Technologist means that they're more likely to emphasize a strategy that focuses on investing a lot in research. This could be worse, though. It could be worse. I believe the Darloks default to aggressive personality. This isn't too much different. It's pretty standard. Klakons are aggressive technologists while they're also technologists. That's strange. They normally are not they normally do not get technologist focus. They're also normally not aggressive either. The default personality for Klakons is erratic, which is good that they're not erratic. Erratic means that they declare war randomly due to periodic dice rolls. You don't want to be dealing with erratics. They're very difficult to deal with. Aggressive is actually not that bad. And if you have a spy in their territory, you can see what text they have, but we don't have that yet, and it's a little too early in the game for that to be too useful. Anyway, audience, this is how you can meet with them. Let's go ahead and meet. What we want to do is we want to sign them up to trade. The humans' racial bonus is, aside from good diplomacy, their other racial bonus is they benefit from trade. They get more from trade than any other race. All right, so this is what the relation screen looks like. You always appear like this, color-coded based on the color of your flag, so you never actually see yourself, but you get to see what the leaders look like. What we're going to do is we want to try to form a trade agreement. As humans, trade always benefits us more than the other side, so we want the max value. We'll go for 75 BC a year, and see he's happy. He makes the little happy eyes symbol for the Darloks. Okay. Proposed treaty allows you to propose treaties. You can declare war on other races, break alliances. Sometimes the AI can be a little silly about doing this. You can actually abuse this a little bit. Sometimes they'll declare war for no real reason. So I try to avoid asking them that unless it's like makes strategic sense. Non-aggression pact means that we don't shoot at each other if our ships encounter one another over a neutral planet, an unclaimed planet. And alliance is another step up from that. Our ships can't target each other at all, and we share range on our bases. You don't really want to sign an alliance too early in the game. It allows them to colonize stuff in your back lines. You can threaten them. I don't want to threaten them. You can offer tribute. I don't want to do that. You can offer to trade techs. The way that Master of Orion handles tech trades is very clever. This isn't like your Civilization style game or your Galactic Civ style game where you get a window and you can sort of see what they've got, and then you can, line it up, and you can measure out, this tech for 100 gold pieces, let's go to 105. You can't do that. All you can do is you can see what they have. See, he's not even interested in trading techs right now. All you can do is see what techs they have to offer, and you can ask them if they're willing to trade one of their techs, but you don't get to pick what they trade it for. They choose what they want to trade it for with you, and then you only have the option to accept or decline. I'll see if I can show that here with the Clacons. Okay, so here's the Clacons. Look at his little antenna. It's so cute. What we want to do is we want to sign them up to trade as well. See if they'll go, yep, now he's happy. His eyes light up. They turn red if he gets angry. So 75 BC per year. Let's see if he has anything we want. No, we don't see. Now he shows the angry eyes, but no. Too early in the game to do any kind of tech trading. But this is still good. We've now got some trade income incoming. The way that trade works is trade starts out as a net loss. Here, if I go into the planets column, see how it's -6 BC to start? Trade starts at a net loss, and then over time, it builds up. And after, I think, about 20 to 30 turns, you get the full value from trade. So if I go back to the Races tab, we've got 75 with the Darloks, 75 with the Clacons. That's 150 BC. Now, normally, it starts at a 30% penalty. So let me grab my calculator. Normally, if we're at 150 BC, normally we would start by losing -45 BC per turn. So it would actually be a fairly significant drain on our economy. However, as the humans, we don't pay that. We only pay a penalty of 5% when we start out. So the penalty is only 6 BC down here. It should be 7.5, but maybe there's something in here that affects that. I don't know. Maybe they rounded down or something. So it'll start at -6, and then each turn it'll go up until after, like I said, about 30 turns or so, we'll be getting 150 BC from trade income. That is then distributed across all of our planets. So you can imagine if we were getting 150 BC right now, our whole planetary economy is only 350. If we added 150 to that, that would be a huge bonus. That would be about a 35% increase over our whole economy. So anyway, that's why we're doing that. Note right now, because we're losing that small amount to trade, that Sol is now in the waste tab, so I actually do have to adjust spending and tick that up to clean. And I'll just check that at my other planets to see if that same effect happened anywhere. Nope, didn't happen anywhere else. One other thing I wanted to do, I was thinking about this game when I wasn't playing it, and I realized I wanted to get some ships up here. I want to have some kind of weapon up here. These ships are too young, too immature to defend themselves, too weak to do that. So I want to get some ships up there to defend them. Let's also send some pop up there. Tari is still getting started, doesn't have much pop to spare, but Regulus has some extra. Again, this planet only has 30 factories, so we only need 15 pop. Everything beyond that is a little bit excess. Let's send 15 over here to get this planet started. Again, it'll take a while to get there, but there's not much I can do to speed that up here in the early game. So we'll use that. Now, let's go ahead and look at the ship designing phase of the game. So none of these ships, I've got the scouts, I've got colony ships, none of these ships have any weapons. They're all, no military on them whatsoever. Let's look at designing a ship to send up there. Here's the ship design screen. This looks very complicated, and I suppose it is to a certain extent, but with a little practice, it's not too hard to get used to. Down here, you can choose from 6 different hull sizes: small, medium, large, and huge. Each one is 6 times larger than the previous one. So medium is 6 times bigger than small, large is 6 times bigger than medium, etc. The way that works out is huge is 216 times bigger than small, with proportionate cost. You can fit more guns on a whole bunch of small ships, but you'll lose some in every fight. So huge ships and large ships generally minimize attrition. They're generally better in the late game. What I want to do here, though, is I just want guns, period. So I'm going to build a small design. So let me back up here. Up here, you can put computers and shields on ships. I'm not going to do that. You can put more advanced armor, more advanced engines. We'll get to that later on in the game. Right now, all I want to do is just put a weapon on here. Right now, I've got 40 total space to work with. More techs increase the amount of space that you can put on a ship. We'll get to that later. I've got 39 available space. Let's see what I can build in terms of weapons. Well, not a lot of choice here. I can put a laser on this ship. You can see the damage, 1 to 4 damage, cost, size, power, space. So I can put 1 laser on this ship, and that's it. I have no room for anything else. If I want to put something else on the ship, I need a bigger size. For instance, if I want to put nuclear missiles or nuclear bombs on here, then I need to get at least a medium hull. None of these things are really that useful early in the game. Lasers are the way to go. So lasers deal 1 to 4 damage. Now see the cost. The ship will cost 14 BC to build. Let's rename it. Just basic laser ship. And we can't put anything else on here. Now you can add specials. For instance, if you want to build a colony ship, you put a colony-based special on here. Battle scanner, I'll talk more about later. Reserve fuel tanks. This is what allows our scouts to go out and explore more planets. However, I can't fit a reserve fuel tank and a laser on one of these small holes. It's one or the other. So in order to build the laser, we have to give up everything else. And again, we can fit more on ships as we get more technology. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and build that. Now, to check out the fleet, we can now build these little laser ships. I've used this design innumerable times. This is like the most basic design in the game, just a little pop gun fighter with a laser gun on it. And I'm going to have Sol build these lasers. So you can see I'll actually build 20 of them next turn. Again, this is one of the great things about Master of Orion. Like as I've made the comparison to Civilization. In Civilization, you build like a longbow or a rifle. In this game, you can build 1 laser ship, you can build 5, you can build 5,000 if you want, and they all stack and fight together. So the game has a great sense of scale to it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to relocate them to Neptunus. This means when they're built, they'll automatically redirect themselves to Neptunus. I want to build about 50 of these. That's enough to chase away colony ships up here if the Darlocks come calling. And then after that, I'll go back to building more. I'll go back to building building more colony ships, because I do need to fill out the rest of my core. There's a couple more planets to grab. I do want to grab this planet, and then I can make a play for these over here after that. I also want to send more scouts out up here, but I'll start building a couple of them next turn. All right, that was a lot to cover. Let's go ahead and move on to the next turn. Okay, so production screen shows that we built those 20 lasers. Now, if we go back to the planetary screen, note that the trade income went from -6 to -5. So yeah, it is slowly growing over time. And again, the relocate button, what it does is it relocates your ships. They automatically get rerouted to your destination. They also get a free turn's worth of movement there. So if you notice, here's my 20 lasers. Neptunus is 5 parsecs away from Sol, but they're already 1 turn along towards their destination. So if you use the relocate button, you can often cut a turn's worth of travel time off of where you're going. So you can do some stuff associated with that. Speeds up. Okay. All right, so now we got to reallocate spending here. At Regulus, let's check our tech. Getting pretty close. Okay, construction's in the percentages. Planetology is about halfway done on improved eco. Once improved eco pops, I'll open up the rest of the tech fields. But for now, research is still kind of on the back burner. Tari is still just getting started. And Regulus needs to just do what it's doing. Okay, so we've got 10 laser fighters. Like I said, I think I'll go for 50. And then we'll go back to colony ships. Okay, good. Any turn where I don't see incoming enemy ships is basically a good turn, as far as I'm concerned. Your scanners can see up to 3 parsecs away from your planets. So we can see, I'll turn the grid back on. The grid is Alt-M. We can see like up to here, like roughly here is like 3 parsecs away. So we can see that there's nothing immediately coming south from Colden, at least not right now. And this planet is, yeah, this planet's still out of my range right now. Alright, so that's 2 turns worth of laser fighters. This is turn number 3. Oh, something happened. Oh, we've got copy protection again. Hold on 1 second, and I'll take a look at this. I have to go check out the copy protection. This is an old system. In old DOS games would often do this. You'd get a reference sheet, and then it would tell you to look something up, and you'd have to find it, and that was their way of doing copy protection. Obviously, in the internet era, it's almost silly because it's so easy to bypass that in the internet era, but it made sense at the time. Alrighty, so let's go ahead. This one is the cheetah. Oh, wow. No, it's not the cheetah. What the heck? I'll have to go check that again. 1 second. Okay. I must have misread it on my reference sheet. This one says it is the penetrator, apparently. Alright. Penetrator it is. Okay. Yeah, if you fail the copyright protection, it just kicks you out of the game. So, yeah, I should print out that sheet and just have it next to me so I don't have to Alt-Tab out of the game. Normally it doesn't matter, but when I'm recording, of course, it throws things off. Okay, that's 3 turns worth of... no, wait, I've got, what, about 40 of these now? 20, yeah. Okay, so 1 more turn, and then I'll feel a lot safer up here. Okay, boom. Another 10 laser ships. Okay, let's go back to colonies. By the way, note how many Scout 2s I could build if I wanted to here. And take this off relocate. Alrighty. Over here at Regulus, now I do have the range to expand out and scout some more stars. Like I can reach this one that's 7 parsecs away now. I have range for, yes, I can reach that. I can reach this one that's 6 parsecs. So let's build some more scouts and send them up there. Let's build 2 per turn for like 2 or 3 turns. Okay. Yeah, this is a good time to do that because we're just sitting and hoping that construction tech will pop at low odds. Okay, that works for me. We still haven't seen anything from the Darlocks in recent turns. Trade is almost into the black now. It's a good sign. And the young planets are just still maturing. Neptunus and Tari are still just getting started. Okay, next turn. I'm like desperately hoping that I don't see any enemy ships incoming. Okay, so where do I want to send these? Now, one thing you really should do is you should have these scouts queued up like ahead of time, ready to go, like I did in some other areas. I could have done a much better job of that. Okay. We've got 4 scouts here. Oh, interesting. 4 scouts. I must have more than I expected. Okay. Let's send... Oops. Let's send 2 of them here, and they can expand out from there to these 2 stars here. And then let's send 2 to this star here, and they can expand out from there. That'll cover these 2 stars here. I should have the range to at least scout these 2 pretty soon. And that's probably about as far as I can reach for right now. Yeah, I can't really reach too much further than that for right now. Okay, so we'll build 1 more here for Regulus. You want to have a scout over your own planets just to discourage the AI from coming and checking them out. Okay, colony ship incoming. My laser fighters are in orbit here. I'm going to move them to this planet. I think this one is more likely to come under attack. Can always shuffle them back and forth. And yeah, looking good. Let's keep going. These early turns can be a little bit slow. Oh, there we go. We're improved industrial tech 9. So again, I mentioned this in the last video, but what this does is it decreases your factory construction costs. Instead of 10 BC per factory, they're now 9 BC per factory, which is very nice. What do we have? Oh, we've got a choice of improved industrial tech 8. Because I have improved industrial 9, this isn't that helpful. It's, you know, it's another step up, but I already have 1 tech in this field. We also have our choice of Dorloy armor. This increases the hit points of ships, transports, personal ground armor, and missile bases. This is a very nice tech. It's also an expensive tech. This is the most expensive tech on this rung of the ladder. The third option, which is there another option here? This might be the only 2. I'd have to go back and look at this, but we definitely want Durloy. If I had not had improved industrial 9, I probably would have gotten 8, but because I do have it, I'm going to go for Durloy. And again, this is what makes the game so interesting. Every time you play the game, your route through the tech tree is a little bit different. Alright, so Escalon. We do want a colony there. Let's go ahead and build a colony here. This will be one of my most exposed planets, but I'm hoping that the natural advantage that the humans have in diplomacy will keep the Darloks off of me for the time being. And let's see, this desert planet out here is still up for grabs, so Sol is getting close to a colony ship to go send over there. Alrighty, so that's good. Tech, I want to reassign this. Let's dial down construction spending and put pretty much everything into planetology for right now. And we'll go ahead and keep up on that. I want to send some pop to this new planet. Unfortunately, it's really far from Regulus. There's not a whole lot I can do about that. See, Neptunus in all that time has only grown from pop 2 to pop 4. But these 15 people incoming will take it up to about pop 20, and then it'll be into the sort of the middle of the normal curve, and it'll start growing from there. Tari's coming along kind of nicely now. It still doesn't have too many factories, but it is getting. It only has 8 factories, but it's getting started. It'll take another 30 turns or so to finish maxing that one out. Okay, so let's see. Escalon, size 75. That's a pretty good sized planet. Let's send another 15 from Regulus. Again, it'll take them forever to get there, but might as well send them now. It helps if your second colony is in the right direction. In this case, it was kind of in the wrong direction, but still better to have a size 65 than a size 45 as your second planet. Okay, this is good news. Now that we have a colony on Escalon, we can see further out with our default scanners. Again, we can see 3 parsecs from this planet. We can see out to about here on the map, out to roughly about here. So right now there's no ship incoming, and we should have a decent amount of warning if there is one incoming. I'm still going to keep my laser squadron based at Escalon, and then I can shift it back to Neptunus. Alrighty, so more colony ships. Keep on going. And just wait for improved eco to pop. We still don't have much of anything going into research. And that's very typical in the early game for Master of Orion. You need to focus on expansion. Alright, so Neptunus is now up to pop 21. There we go. Got 17 pop between turns. Nice. If I'm lucky, I will never have to use these little laser fighters. If I'm lucky, they'll never be needed at all. But you can't always count on that. These toxic planets should be safe. The Darloks won't have the tech to settle those planets for a long, long time. Okay, because this planet's still available, I'm going to send my next colony ship out here. That would do a lot to push my range out further to the west. It'd be very nice planets to grab, but we'll see. We'll see if it's still available. Alrighty. Again, not too much to do other than fix spending here, so we're not wasting any points. Regulus is still carrying the research load. And improved eco should be ready to pop pretty soon. So we're still basically running that sort of pseudo-farmer's gambit. I mean, there's a couple ships, but not many. And let's keep going. Alright, so there's the colony ship. 4 more turns for the next colony. Let's make sure I've got the right planet assigned. I believe it's this one that I can settle. Yes. Desert, max 35. A lot of small planets, but I do have improved terraforming plus 10, so I've got at least a little bit of terraforming tech. Okay, so these scouts are incoming here. So I can send this one further ahead, or I could, except I don't have the range. Okay, so I can't send anything further forward right just yet. Is this one in range? Yes. Okay, so I can go and explore. I've got this scout incoming here. Well, we'll go ahead and wait on that. I'd love to be able to get this planet. If I'm able to get this planet, I'll have the range to take this one. I just have expected the Klakons to come and take it away from me, to be perfectly honest. I've got to be careful with the too many eggs in one basket syndrome. My focus has been on getting these 2 planets, and so far it's working. I was willing to give up this one if I could get these 2 in turn. Now, if the Klakons don't go here, if they don't colonize that planet, I will very happily head over there and take that away from them. If they don't make an effort to go grab it. So, here's to hoping. In any case. All right, so we got 5 more turns until this gets there. Let's run this up to 1 turn away, and then I'll run research when I get to that point. Yeah, this planet's coming along nicely. Escalon, not so much just yet. Tari, wow, Tari needs to be terraformed soon. Yeah, I'm getting close to the point where I can terraform this planet and do so easily. Regulus also needs to be terraformed, but it's okay for the moment. Sullla is still the only planet that I've actually terraformed. Okay. Alright, so these two are one turn away from reaching that. Let's go ahead and send this scout forward. That way this planet's always had a scout blockade over it at all points in time. Don't want to leave a planet uncovered. Okay, and I don't need two scouts here. If they show up with any kind of armed ship, they can chase me away. Go ahead and check out that other star. Okay, this is still 3 turns away. Let's go ahead and instead of finishing that colony ship and have it sitting around not knowing if it's going up here yet for a couple more turns, let's have Sol put its focus into research for 2 turns. That will allow Regulus to terraform. And let's see. It should take, it should take 3 turns. It should take 3 turns to terraform. Oh, no, it doesn't. I'm forgetting. I'm thinking it's 100 BC. No, it costs 50 BC. So let's measure that out into two groups of 25. You don't need to micromanage to this level of detail, but I will. So that's 25, and then next turn it'll get another 25, and that'll be the 50 it needs to terraform. That'll take it from 65 max to 75 max. Let's see if Tari can do the same here. 25, yes. So we'll terraform it 25, 25, and that'll take it to max 55. This is a good turn to do it because good 2 turns to do it while Sol is on research. And now, of course, with a huge surge in research from Sol going over to research, we'll get improved eco soon. Okay, so again, check out the waste cleanups here. See how much we have to spend on waste cleanup? See, we're spending almost half our income in waste cleanup in the ecology slider. Once we get improved eco restoration, that will go down drastically, and we'll have way more income available for our empire here. Okay, well, we didn't get it on that turn, but now we're up to 54% chance to discover it between turns. Tari is halfway terraformed. Regulus is halfway terraformed. Plus this will, well, this hasn't quite reached its destination yet. I guess I can't scout these stars until after I plant the colony on that green star. Alrighty, another turn. Let's see if we get the tech between turns. Hopefully we will. Oh, there's already a soccer base here. Wow, we haven't met the soccers yet. Okay, so this base, this planet already has a soccer colony on it. And it's undefended though, so these are all scouts over here, so we'll be able to see what's on this planet. Let's check it out here. They just colonized this recently. Only 31 pop, 3 factories. So if I had gotten here a little bit sooner, I might have been able to stop them from colonizing that world. This one, oh wow. The planet Incendius here now has soccer have showed up. And they've showed up, oh, that's not good. They've showed up with an actual military unit. So maybe this has missiles on it. We can cross our fingers and hope that it has missiles on it. Yes, it does. So we might be able to survive this. Oh, it's got a 5 rack on it, but those missiles could potentially miss. Oh, we got to hope that this misses. Yes, it missed. Ha! We're able to chase them away. Yeah, missiles only have a limited quantity. He had a 5 rack of missiles on there. They all missed the scout. Because it's a small ship, it has good maneuverability. I'm sure that they had no targeting computer on that medium. So that means they will have to retreat, and they will not be able to scout this planet. So that's good news for us potentially being able to colonize there. That is good news. What is this news? Empire population. We are the humans, so we're already in 3rd on empire population. Oh, this means the Alkari likely are in the west of the galaxy, and the Alkari are likely a huge powerhouse. The silicoids are quite low, but then again, they are the silicoids. They always have low population because of their pop growth penalties. The Sakra, that's not a surprise. So the Alkari and Sakra look like they'll be the major powers in this galaxy. Interesting. And we also still did not get improved eco, but it's just a matter of time at this point. We've got like an 80% chance to discover it between turns. Again, that happens sometimes. Okay, so anyway, let's finish the colony ship. And these planets can go back. See, now they can no longer be terraformed. Now there's pop plus 75 max. Again, bigger is always better in terms of size in Master of Orion. If it's the planet's bigger, you can put more factories and you can put more population on it. Okay, so we'll have Tari go back to building more factories. And Regulus will keep our minimum tech investment going for right now. Okay. Yeah, so, oh, I have to reassign this. I don't want to, the AI doesn't like it if you keep scouts orbiting over top of their planets. Wow, does Sakra already have Tundra tech? Okay, so they've already been able to colonize one of the hostile techs at the early of the game. That's not that surprising because the Sakra are really good at planetology, and the ability to colonize more planets comes in the planetology field. So it's not a huge surprise, but it would have been nice if they didn't have this planet, or we could have chased them away. We've temporarily managed to chase everyone away from this planet with just scouts. So maybe we got a shot to get that. It would be a nice break for us if we were able to get that. We don't have range to go scout that out. So we'll recall this scout back. The nice thing is that now that we've scouted this planet, we'll be able to keep track of how much population and how many bases they have here. We'll be able to keep track of that. We still are not in range. We still do not have contact with the Sakra, so no ability to contact them. By the way, note how relations have improved with the Klakons and the Darloks. Darloks up to relaxed, Klakons all the way up to amiable. That's what the main benefit of trade is. The AI likes trade, so relations go up when you trade with them. Okay. So we will get a colony next turn, and we'll be able to make our play for that other colony up here. Okay, the Sakra have another. The Sakra must have started here, based on what I'm seeing. They must have started here, and they must have quite a few planets in this region. That means the Alkari are probably at one of these 2 stars, and my guess is the Silicoids are up here. All right, so they've already colonized this planet too, and this planet already has a missile base, so we will not be able to scout this planet. Note how it says 1 here. That means that planet has a base. It will be able to shoot at us. Yeah, this is a more mature planet. So all we can do is retreat here. There's no ability. We have no way of scouting this planet. Here the Klakons are back, and they've brought some ships here. So we'll probably have no chance to hold this. If they have missiles, maybe, but they do not have missiles. They would have fired them already. All right, I just got to retreat the scout and get it out of there. So, all right, improved eco restoration came in. That means that the Klakons are likely to go get that planet up there in the north, now that they've had a chance to scout it. They haven't brought a colony ship yet, but they've now scouted it, which means that they'll surely be sending a colony ship next. I'm probably not worth it to send our own colony ship up there. They will probably have control of that planet. Sadly, it's jungle size 90, but there's just only so much I can do. It was only 3 parsecs from their home planet, which means you're probably not going to be able to take that on impossible. All right, anyway, improved eco restoration again. We go from 2 units of industrial waste for a cost of 1 BC to 3. Again, it's a huge increase in the early game. Do you want to reduce the ecology ratio on all your planets? Yes, we do. And now we have that same option we had before. We can take controlled tundra, improved terraforming, or death spores. Well, I'm going to go for controlled tundra because there is a tundra planet I can colonize. Death spores are a weapon you can use to attack, kill off population on enemy planets. The AI does not like it when you use death spores. There's a huge relations hit if you use them. I pretty much never use death spores. If I didn't have plus 10 terraforming, I might go for this, but I already do. So let's go for controlled tundra. I would have preferred to go for controlled dead, but it wasn't in the tree. Not an option going forward, or it might be in the next tech rung. All right, so we had another planet, Wino. And this will extend range out to the west. So we might be able to get something else out there. This also is bringing contact with someone. Oh, the Silicoids. Okay. Hello, Silicoids. We now have contact with them. I was not expecting to have contact with them. Do we have contact with the Sakra now too? Yes. Will not tolerate any interference. Okay. That sounds like this is either... I think this is the standard aggressive message. I think the Sakra just have their normal aggressive personality. All right, so... let's check out the environment map. Now we'll be able to see. Okay, so the Silicoids did start where I expected them to. They're up in the north, but they have 1 random planet out here. See, this is the problem with the Silicoids. Their racial ability is they can colonize any planet at the start of the game. So what they tend to do is, even if they start in like a corner, see how they started in this corner? Normally they'd be boxed up in the corner and they wouldn't have too many options on where they could go. But they have leapfrogged around the galaxy, colonizing inhospitable worlds all around the borders. And the Sakra are in the middle of the map, which means the Alkari are at one of these 2 stars. Probably this one, because I feel like I would have seen them. Well, it could be either one. Hopefully for their sake, they're not starting in a nebula. Having a homeworld in a nebula kind of sucks. Nebulas slow ship travel through them, and shields don't work in a nebula. That's what they do. Okay. So it looks like we're not going to be able to get too many more planets uncontested. The goal now will be to sit back and tech up and try to claim the planets down here. There is a tundra planet over here, we have a chance to get this, but the key tech for us is controlled toxic. Look at all these toxic planets. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'd also be able to settle or colonize the Inferno planet if I were able to get controlled toxic. So controlled toxic is going to be a huge, huge priority going forward. Anyway, that jungle world, last one, uncontested. I mean, I can make a play for it, but it feels unlikely that I'm going to get this. How many turns does it take to move up there? Oh, it's still out of range? That's still 5 parsecs? Okay, never mind. I thought that would be 4 now that I have Wino, but nope. Alright, well that made the decision easy. We don't even have the range to get there, so no, we won't be getting that planet. I'm usually pretty good at eyeballing that. That must be a really short range 4, you know, because this to this is 5 parsecs. That must be like 4.1. I'm usually pretty good at eyeballing it, but nope, we don't have the range to colonize there, so not much point in going onward. This planet, let's see if we can scout out Gora. I'll go ahead and see if we can get a scouting report on that. You can reassign orders when a ship has to retreat. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this over this planet for right now. Note that it disappears. That's kind of weird, but it does do that. All right, other places. Scouts should be able to move forward in other parts of the map too. This should now be in range. Yes, 5 turns. Is this in range? Yes, actually it is. But this is more important to scout out. This is in range. The one down there is not. Okay. Let's check that out. It'll take a while to get there, but yeah, so these are the next 2 important ones. And I'll send this scout here. After Gora, I'll have it go check this out. Alrighty, let's get some pop over to Wino. Regulus can go ahead and, let's see, how many do I want to send? This is a relatively small planet, but it's kind of exposed. It's kind of in a point position, so let's send it a good amount to get it started. Let's send about 12. That'll get it about a third of the overall. All right, so let's do that. And Sol doesn't really have a whole lot to build right now. I could build some more laser fighters to send up here, but this area kind of feels like it's in a bit of a dead space on the map. It's kind of between a bunch of empires. I don't expect to see a whole lot of aggression over here. In fact, I still have not seen even one AI ship over here, so I think that this will be okay. I think that that'll be all right, is my best guess. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and invest into research for right now at Sol, and let the other planets concentrate on their economy. So this is, this is a bit of a risk. I could potentially lose Wino, but it feels like it's a risk worth taking. It's not that great of a planet anyway. Useful to hold on to, but I'm willing to take the risk that the AI will not come after me. Again, remember, I'm the humans. I get great relations with everyone, so they're less likely to pick a fight with me in general. All right, so I sent Pop over to Wino. I changed Sol over to Tech. By the way, remember how I talked about improved eco restoration? Look at how the cleanup costs have been cut. Sol was making, what, like 150 research points before? Now it's up to 212. And that's, again, solely because we've cut how much has to be spent on waste cleanup. This is a very, very big deal. You want to cut those waste cleanup costs because it improves your entire economy. All right, that means Regulus can start building factories. We want to max this planet out. See that little bit left over? Can now reassign that. Tari wants to build factories as well. It's in pretty good shape. It's going to need a while longer to max out. These planets are coming along. They're not quite ready to be terraformed. Actually, this one is ready to be terraformed. Yeah, let's do it. This one's ready. If you can terraform in 2 turns, it's generally a good time to do that. Also note that it's already at like half. 36 out of 70. We'd rather get it to 30, get it to halfway out of like 80. Because it'll be 80 pop next. And then this planet's still just getting started, but colony transfer, that pop transfer is incoming. Okay, so this is looking good. Now let's go ahead and check all the fields. You can hit the equals key to equalize the spending. Let's go ahead and find out what we have in the other fields. Computers, force fields, and weapons. I know it's going to be in force field because you only have one option, but let's go ahead and check that out. And our trade's starting to mature here. That's good too. Oh, new races. Let's check out the new races, shall we? We're 55 turns into the game. Wow, the Sakura appear to be the early powerhouse. Okay, got to keep an eye on the Sakura. They will be nominated in the first council vote, so let's keep an eye on that. Planets, the silicoids have the most planets. That's very typical. They don't have that much population, though. Wow, we're all quite close on pop. I really wish you could zoom in on the bar graphs, or you could get a numerical representation of this sometimes, but you can't. So the Sakura appear to be the early leaders in the clubhouse, so to speak. Let's find out what they are. Erratic. Ooh, they're erratic. That's not good. Ooh, that means going to be interesting times. Declare war based on dice rolls. Okay. And the silicoids are aggressive technologists. Wow, we have 3 different technologist personalities here. Going to be a lot of focus on tech. Wow, they're technologists too? Are they all technologists? What? That's crazy. They're all technologists. Huh. Wow, that's hard to believe. Okay. They are all technologists. One real complaint about this game, the AI signs alliances way too easily. They sign alliances at like the drop of a pin. So sometimes you can lose the game early on because the AI has signed a bunch of phony alliances and then they all love each other and all vote for one another. So the Clacons are allied with the Silicoids and Sakra. Sakra are allied with the Silicoids and Clacons. And they're allied. Okay, so these 3 have a big love fest going. Now, to no one's surprise, the Darlocks do not have alliances with anyone because nobody likes the Darlocks in this game. This could be a potential issue, though, if everyone votes for the Sakra in the first council election. I will keep an eye on that. I don't think we're quite at the 3/4. The way that this game works is the way that you win the game is when 3/4 of the galaxy is colonized, you start holding these galactic council votes. And you need to get a 2/3 majority to win the game. That's how it works. All right, anyway, we're the humans. We want to trade with everybody. So let's go ahead and start trading with other races. It's always in our interest to trade when we're the humans. Even with the Sakra, who we'll go ahead and sign them to the max deal. Let's see if we can exchange technology. No, we don't have anything that they want. Even the Sakra, who are erratic and will quite possibly declare war at the drop of a pin, it's still in our interest to trade with them because we only need like 5 turns and we're getting a profit on that trade. Oops, wrong one. Well, we don't have anything to trade with them. So we can now trade for 100 BC per year because our economy is stronger and their economy is stronger. Okay, planets, and we took a little hit in our income, but that, again, it'll go up significantly as time passes. Let me just cycle through my planets, see if any of them have the little waste thingy here. And no, they all look good. Okay. Well, actually, the terraforming one might need another tick because let's just put one more tick on terraforming. Okay. I'll go ahead and save the game here just in case something wonky would happen. But I'm going to keep playing a little bit longer. I definitely want to see what techs I have available. Alright, so that was a busy turn. Okay, in computer tech, we can take ECM Jammer 1 or Battle Computer 2. Let's see, the third option is an improved scanner, so we can see things further away from our colonies. ECM is missile defense. It's really not that useful to put on ships, but it does get applied automatically to your missile bases. I'm not a huge fan of ECM. The biggest advantage it has is that it's very cheap. I do like the battle computers. Battle computers mean that your shots are more likely to hit the target, and if you have high enough battle computers, they do more damage too. So you do want to emphasize battle computers. They also go on your ships and they go on your missile bases. So between these two, I'd prefer to get battle computer. There is a case for going for ECM because it's very cheap and just jumping to the next tech level. But battle computer 2 is actually very useful. So I will indeed select this. Force fields, you never have a choice. Your first research is always class 2 shields. You start with access to class 1, and the next is class 2. Absorbs damage from all attacks. So if you put a shield on a ship, instead of lasers dealing 1 to 4 damage, they deal 1 to 2. It's a straight subtraction. So shields are really good in this game. You might think immediately, well, wait, does that mean if I put a class 5 shield on a ship, then lasers deal no damage? And that's exactly right. So you can completely negate damage with enough shielding. Force field technology is another specialty of the humans. They're rated very good. I believe they're rated good in this field. They're either good or excellent in the force field. I think that they might be excellent in force field tech. But anyway, they're very good at shielding tech. So we get this at a significant discount. This tech is normally more expensive, but it's cheaper for us because humans are good at force field tech. So yes, we want that. And in weapons, well, we have no choices. We only have the option to research Hyper-V. That's strange because weapons is usually the most crowded field. There are more techs available in the weapons tree than any of the other trees. But we have no choice. We have to research Hyper-Vs. Hyper-Vs are missiles that deal 6 damage. The starting missiles, nuclear missiles, only deal 4 damage. So it's a 50% upgrade. Hyper-Vs are fine. I usually prefer to research another tech called hand lasers, which is very cheap. and lets you jump up to the next level. That's not in the tree. Also, the ion gun is not in the tree either. Ion gun is the next upgrade from lasers, and instead of 1 to 4, it deals 2 to 8 damage. But that's not in the tree, so we have no choice. Oh, wow, we already have a council vote. Okay. So this is going to be interesting. The Sakura will be nominated. The question is, who else is nominated alongside the Sakura? So every council vote is a chance to win the game and a chance to lose the game. In order to win the game, you have to get a 2/3 vote. If you get a 2/3 vote, you're the winner. If somebody else gets a 2/3 vote, you are the loser. You can technically play on past a council loss, but I don't consider that to be. I consider that to be a loss, and I usually don't. What this means is if you have 1/3 of the overall galactic population, you cannot lose the game. You have a veto block. You can block every vote. You cannot lose. The downside of that is as long as an AI race has 1/3 of the galactic pop, you also cannot win the game because they can veto block every vote as well. So anyway, there's some interesting dynamics that go into this. Okay, this is good that the Alkaris are nominated. That's good. That means that the Alkari and Silicoid will split the vote, and the game will go on. So this is good. Let's find out how many votes they get. Okay, so the Alkari have 4 votes. That's pretty typical for early in the games. 3 and 4 votes are standard on the first vote. This is a pretty early council vote. The Darloks abstain. That makes sense. Nobody likes the Darloks. In case you're wondering where these votes come from, you get 1 vote for every 100 pop total. So if you have a 110 pop on your home world and then 50 pop on another, add it all together, you get 1 vote for every 100 pop. All right, the Sakura voted for the Silicoids voted for the Sakura. They're in an alliance. That makes sense. The Sakura voted for themselves. The AI will always vote for themselves if they're nominated. Always, 100% of the time. The Klakons voted for the Sakura. Again, they're in an alliance. Makes sense. And so note that the AI has split the vote. They all together only have 10 out of 20 votes. Now, I have 3 votes, so this means you'd think, well, I'll just abstain, right? I can do that. However, let's see, 13 out of 20 is 65. That's close, but not enough to win the game on the part of the Sakura. So what I can do is I can vote for the Sakura. They will not win the game, and I will get a huge relations boost with them for voting for them in the council. Now, the Alkari, being the other one in the council, they will not like it if I vote for the Sakura. But I don't have contact with them, so I don't have to care about that yet. It's a non-issue. So we'll vote for the Sakura. Neither leader has a 2/3 majority, and the game goes on. Note that if all of the AIs had voted for the Sakura, they would have won the game. Also, if the Alkari had voted for the Sakura, they would have had 14, they would have won the game. But, of course, they won't do that because they're also nominated. Anyway, this is, again, not a huge deal. I just need to be aware of the diplomatic situation. Hopefully, those alliances will have been broken by the time we have the next race. See, look at the Sakura. They're now all the way up to affable. They really, really like me at this point, so that's a good sign. Now, council votes are held every 25 turns, so the next vote will be 2375. So I will keep an eye on this and keep an eye on the diplomatic situation. Hopefully, these early game alliances won't last too much longer. There will be strain on these alliances. In particular, because the Darloks are in the game, they will be spying on other races. When they get caught, other races are likely to declare war. The Sakura also do not get along with the Alkari at all. The Alkari and the Sakura are racial enemies. They hate one another. So they're not in contact yet, but they will likely be in contact soon. And when they are, they will likely go to war quickly and remain at war for the duration. So this will likely blow up into a galactic war soon enough, which is good. You want the AI to be fighting. The hardest games are usually the ones where the AI just stays at peace. Or, no, that's not true. The hardest games are the one where the AI invades you early in the game. That is the hardest when you get into early war. Time is generally on the player's side. The more time you have, the more time that you have to build up, the better your situation normally is. The AI does not handle a lot of the late game text very well, particularly once ships start moving really fast and you get more speed text available, more better engines. The AI doesn't handle that very well at all. So it tends to not handle the late game very well. Anyway, this planet is still sitting there. It's unfortunate we don't have the range to reach it. I'd build another colony ship and send it up there, but we don't have the range to reach that planet, sadly. What you can do, I don't have the tech to do it yet, but what you can do is you can design a large ship, and if you have enough tech, you can put a standard colony base, and then you can stick reserve fuel tanks on it. But note that that costs 470 space. I only have 361 available, so I can't do that, unfortunately. Now, you can do it with a huge hull. Watch. I can put I can put standard colony base and reserve fuel tanks on there. But the ship costs 1700 BC. So watch, I'll build the ship and watch how expensive that ship would be. 9 turns. Not really worth it at this point in time. I mean, you can make a case for it, but not really worth it until you can get the reserve fuel tanks on a large. Not really worth it. So anyway, now again, let me point out this out again. I could build that ship. It would take 9 turns. It would take 9 turns to build. It would then take another 6 or 7 turns to move to this planet. So I have to consider, will this planet still be here like 17 turns from now? My gut feeling says no. I mean, maybe it would. But if I put 1,600 production points into that ship, it's, you know, I'm building the ship instead of spending 1,800 points on research. And I can do a lot with 1,800 points in research. So I still think that unless I can get another range tech or something, I'm better off not making a play for that planet. Again, I can't even send lasers to protect the planet because it's out of my range. Watch. You know, if I tried to send my laser fighters over there, you know, they don't have the range. It's 5 parsecs. So again, that's a trade-off. I could have researched range 5 tech earlier, then I'd be able to go here. But then I would have been slower to get to these planets, and maybe I wouldn't have been able to claim them. So again, it's a game of trade-offs, as you might imagine. Anyway, let's move the tech spending around a little bit. What do I want to emphasize right now? Probably planetology is the thing I most want to emphasize. So let's just put another tick into planetology from all the other fields. None of the others are, well, I'll leave force fields as is, because I could use those improved shields too. Go ahead and do that. Alrighty. So just, you know, emphasizing it a little bit, because controlled tundra will open up another planet, and then there's more good stuff after that. Planetology tends to be an economic tree, so you tend to emphasize that a lot in the early going. Alright, not much is going on right now. Hopefully that'll continue. If I'm lucky, I will just not attract much attention from the AI. We got a couple scout ships out right now, but that's about it. This planet's done terraforming, so I got to reassign that. Other than that, pretty good to go. Okay. So this is now right where we want to be. Remember, halfway full is when you grow the fastest on a planet. So that's a good sign. This planet needs a little bit longer before it will be able to terraform. Maybe 4 or 5 turns. And how long does it take to build a missile base? Still too long. What I want to do is I want to build these planets up, and then I got to start putting a couple missile bases on the front lines just to make sure that I can scare the AI away if they would come calling with a fleet. So again, there's always stuff to balance. And those light bulbs are starting to fill up kind of nicely. Okay, so we've got some planets going out. We'll see if we're able to scout Gora. Wait, 2 turns? That's 2 parsecs? Wow, okay. Shortest 2 parsecs I've ever seen in this game, but apparently. Thought we'd get there next turn. Uh-oh, this is probably bad. Oh, we now have contact with the Alkari. Okay, they must have either colonized a planet or researched a range tech. So now we have contact with everyone. They gave us, based on their message, they're either xenophobes or ruthless, based on that message. But we do have contact with everyone. Now, note how relations start low. That's because we voted for the Sakura in that last council election. That's why they're not too keen on us. Yeah, they're xenophobes. See? I said they'd be either xenophobes or ruthless, based on that greeting message. Anyway, let's check out their status. Ooh, they're the strongest. So the Sakura and Akari are definitely the 2 strongest in the game right now, which makes sense. They were both nominated for the council vote. Let's see where they started. Okay, so they, yeah, as predicted, they started at one of these 2 worlds. But these planets, you know, we might have a shot to get some of these. Maybe, we'll see. So which one is their home world? Oh, Altair isn't a nebula. Ugh, sucks to be them. You don't want that. They have not colonized this planet yet, though, so that's a good sign. Or this one. Not that we have the range to go check it out yet. And this planet is, yeah, we might still have a chance at this one. Maybe. This one they haven't scouted either, but I don't have the range to reach this planet yet. I can't even scout it. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and sign them up to trade. Unfortunately, because they're xenophobes, it will take longer to improve relations with them. Xenophobes mean that it takes... Oh, wow, I didn't want to go for that. Let's try for a lesser trade agreement. I meant to click actually on the 51, not the 25 one. That trade is so minimal, it won't even do much to make them feel better. Yeah, their diplomat's gone. See, if I want to talk to them right now, I can't. They will do this sometimes, and I think it's great. The AI sometimes is just like, no, we won't talk to you, and their diplomat disappears. So again, this is not like civilization where you can just keep bartering back and forth, back and forth. They'll sometimes just be like, no, we're not talking to you. And if you're at war, well, tough luck. You can't negotiate a peace treaty. They're just, they just go off and do their thing. So it's pretty neat. The way that this works. Sometimes taking options off the table results in a better experience in terms of how diplomacy worked with the computer. All right, so as expected, Alkari and Sokka are the main powers here. And we got this planet to see. So we were able to scout this planet. Wow, Tundra 75. They must have terraformed that already. Tundra planets don't come that large. So we were able to scout this world. Where is it? Wait, what? Wasn't that the planet I just scouted? Oh no, Goro is the planet I just scouted. Never mind. Okay, so, well, oh, that's a shame. The Silicoids only recently colonized this world. They haven't been here too long. They have no bases. They have no ships. Only Pop 6. Again, I mean, I could technically try to attack that, but no, I can't. It's out of range. It's 5 parsecs. My range is still really short. All right, let's go check out Phantos. Probably won't be able to scout that, but might as well take a shot. Wynell now has population on it. Okay, looks good. This planet needs to be terraformed ASAP because it's so small. And, oh wait, did I really not colonize that planet? Did I just forget to colonize that? Oh, I built the colony ship and I never sent it. Oh my goodness. It's been sitting there for like 5 or 6 turns. Wow. That's really bad. Okay, well, I forgot this. See, this can happen. I totally forgot to send the ship. And it's just been sitting there doing nothing. Well, fortunately, this is in the back lines, but that's still pretty silly. Just goes to show I definitely make mistakes too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that'll get me to 7 planets. And again, hopefully I can get another 4, roughly 4 or so afterwards. If I can get up to like 12 planets, I fancy my chances in this game. The humans are a pretty good race overall, especially if they get a chance to build up peacefully. Okay, almost there. Be able to terraform soon. Although I should probably let it grow a tad more, because if I terraformed it right now, it wouldn't be at the 50% part. You know, if it's 30 out of 75, that's like almost halfway, but 30 out of 85 would not be like almost halfway. So better to let that grow a little bit more. And yeah, tech's coming in. Not too much more to do. Like I said, this is a quiet point in time in the game. Hopefully it'll stay quiet. Oh, never mind. That would explain why there's nothing here. Okay, so we found Orion. One planet in the galaxy is always designated as Orion. There is something called the Guardian there, which is a super advanced ship. You have to research a lot of technology to kill the Guardian. If you do, then you're able to colonize Orion. And it's a planet where it's a huge planet, Gaia planet, and you discover a couple technologies, high-end technologies, when you take over the planet. Unfortunately, right now, our scout is going to be instantly annihilated by the Guardian. It has absolutely no prayer whatsoever. So here's our poor little scout, 3 HP. Here's the Guardian, 10,000 HP. It has a death ray, and it has scatter pack 10 missiles. So let's try to retreat. Let's get our scout out of there. Oh, wait. Actually, he just blew us away with the high energy focus. Once you hit Orion, your scout's not coming back. So this planet is Orion, and that means it's off limits until much, much, much later in the game. Nothing we can do about that. Our scout was dead the instant that we got there. Okay. In the meantime, yeah, so this planet should be getting fairly close. Yeah, it's at about half factories. That means it'll be finished maxing out in a couple more turns. That's a good sign. Alrighty. Tech's coming along. Let's get another couple, pass through a couple more turns. See if we can scout out this. Alright, so the Sakra have shown up on Incendius. Let's see if they brought a colony ship. They have. It is armed. Let's see if it has missiles. If it has missiles, we got a shot. If it's armed with lasers, no. Unfortunately, it has lasers, which is bad because that means, well, watch. I'll just end turn here. I just shoot and kill, and the lasers never run out of ammo, so we have no choice. They get the planet. As I said, that planet was just a little bit too far. I really would have liked to have claimed it, but it just wasn't in the cards. Now, what's really shocking is that the planet was claimed by the Sakra and not the Klakons. Klakons started right here, and they never got to that planet. That's a big mistake by them. Okay, this planet already has, as expected, this planet was already colonized. It has 5 missile bases, and it's already maxed out. They have, don't have improvement, they don't have robotics controls 3s yet. They have 200 small ships here. Anyway, we can't do anything except retreat. I expected that that planet was already colonized, but... Or we knew it was already colonized, but it was worth a shot anyway. Okay, so let's redirect this guy. Can't go here, right? No, out of range. Okay, so I'll send him over there for the time being. Okay, well, we got some useful scouting info. Again, I really don't like the soccer getting that planet, but I would have needed to research range 5 earlier. I just thought that the Clacons would take this. They did not, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, this could be worse. None of these AIs has run away with the game. None of these empires are ridiculous. You'll sometimes have an AI that just, at this point in time, would have like 20 planets already. Well, maybe not 20, but would have like 13 or 14, and you'd be just have a total runaway on your hands. Instead, the galaxy seems to be balanced between the Sakra, the Alkari, and maybe the Silicoids. You know, they've got scattered planets, but they do have a fair amount. So that's good. You want it to be fairly even balanced, because then you can play the AIs against one another. And that's usually a pretty good recipe for success. Escalon 32. Yeah, it needs to grow a little bit more before I terraform. This planet, though, not enough. Okay. Let's wait. Let's play up until this last colony ship comes in here and colonizes that world. Oh, what's this? This is probably something bad. The Silicoids, what do they want? Non-aggression pact? No, you do not want non-aggression pacts with the Silicoids. Why? Because then you can't chase away their colony ships when they come in and try to steal colony worlds. Normally I'd accept this with most races, but the Silicoids, if I sign a non-aggression pact, I can't do anything to stop them from scooting in colony ships and taking all those toxic planets. So I'm actually going to have to say no. Now, that doesn't really hurt relations. It doesn't improve them either, though. See, we're still in, we're still on relaxed, but it would have gone up higher if I'd accepted that. Still, I can't have them slipping in and stealing planets away from me. If I go back to that map and show the toxic planets again, like, as long as we don't have a non-aggression pact, I can put laser fighters over this planet, and if they show up with a colony ship, I can, scare them away. But if I don't do that, they can just slip in and colonize this planet, this planet, this planet before I have the tech to colonize it. So, no, I actually do not want to sign that with them. And that's something unique to the Silicoids. Okay, so the bubbles are starting to fill up on all those not size 1, all those tech level 1 techs. And they're coming along nicely. This planet, Regulus is getting pretty close to maxing out here. It only needs 65 more factories. So that's a good sign. Once it maxes out, I'll be able to have it go back to doing research. So now we've got a pretty good sense of what the galaxy looks like. Let's go ahead and get this planet colonized as well. We'll send some population over there. Build a new colony at Orion. Those little size 35s don't contribute that much right away, but they can contribute on the research front. Generally, you use your bigger planets for shipbuilding. What is this? Wino will go supernova. Ugh, that's going to be a pain in the rear. So there are events in this game. The events are almost always bad. Oh, at least, okay, this isn't too bad, though. This came on a tiny little planet. Okay, this could be a lot worse. All right, well, I'll explain how to deal with the supernova event next turn. I'll explain how to deal with that event and move population around to Ryun here. Yeah, Atari can send some pop to Orion. Oh, this planet's almost maxed too. Nice. So we've got coming along nicely here. Coming along pretty good. As long as we can stay at peace for a while, we'll be in good shape. I'm curious to see if relations broke down amongst that racial alliance that was going on earlier. All right, yep. Wow, look at this. Now the Silicoids have an alliance with the Darloks, who they hated before, and the Sakras now have no alliances whatsoever. Still no wars have broke out yet, but it's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. I'll have to start doing some spying soon, too. So my economy will have matured to the point where I can support that. Note that we're getting about 10% boost to our overall economy from trade, from all those trade agreements signed earlier. So that's kind of nice. Alright, this is a good stopping place. As I said, I will explain how to stop the supernova in the next video. It's because it hit a small planet, it's actually not that bad. And we'll go on from here. So we're in good shape. We're not anywhere near a dominant position, but we're in pretty good shape. Anyway, once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Glad you guys have been enjoying this series. And we'll continue next time in part 2. See you then.